Today we're going to read Bone Soup, a spooky, scary tale. I'm sorry, a spooky, tasty tale. Hey, real quick, what do we call the person who writes the words in a book?
Author.
Oh, you said it. Okay, author. What do we call the person who draws the pictures in the book?
Illustrator.
What do we call the person who writes the songs? Ooh, that's kind of like an author. I know, I wrote this song, but what do we call someone who writes songs? Starts with K, ends with composer. Composer. All right, great. So, one Halloween morning, 3 very hungry witches were looking for a tasty treat. They checked the cupboards only to find there was nothing there. "It's bare," said Naggy Witch. "Empty," said Craggy Witch. "Only a small dry bone," said Scraggy Witch. "Only a bone." "Only a bone, you say?" "Piff, poof." Can you say that with me?
Piff, poof.
That's their catchphrase.
No, piff, poof.
Let's make bone soup, sisters, cackled Naggy Witch gleefully. "Bone soup is the perfect Halloween treat." The 3 witches carried their cauldron and bone far and away until they came to a door. The 3 witches hadn't even begun to knock when the door opened with a groan. Can you do that? We'll try a different way of holding this. There we go. And there, the scariest looking monster they had ever seen towered before them. It made the witches shiver. But alas, they were very hungry. Trick or treat, we've something unusually good to eat. It's bone soup, soup from a bone, said Naggy Witch. Let's do the chant. Bone soup, soup from a bone. Bone soup, soup from a bone. Bone soup, soup from a bone. So we'll do it 3 times. Quiet, medium, loud. Got it? Let's do our song now. Bone soup, stir it, make it hot. Bone soup, hope it makes a lot. Trick or treat, it's good to eat. Add it to the pot. Trick or treat, it's good to eat. Better than we thought. Ready, go. Trick or treat, it's good to eat. Add it to the pot. Trick or treat, it's good to eat. Better than we thought. Good job.
Bone soup? That's impossible. Go away. There will be time for your tricks later.
Boomed the monster. And they said, piff, poof. Can you say it again? Piff, poof. It's no trick. A bit of water is all we need, promised the witch. A bit of water? Let's do it. Here we go. Ready, go. Bone soup, stir it, make it hot. Bone soup, hope it makes a lot. Bit of water. Bit of water's all we need. Add it to the pot. Bit of water's all we need. Better than we thought. I'm hungry, Papa, said the little monster as she appeared at the door. Can we make some bone soup, please?
None of your tricks,
boomed the monster. And they said, piff, poof. Only a treat, Naggy Witch replied. And in minutes, the bone and the water were bubbling inside the cauldron. Bewitching. Oh, I'm sorry. Naggy Witch gave the cauldron a stir. Stir it. She took a small taste. Don't burn yourself. Bewitching, she said. If only we had something savory. That's all it needs, but where can we find it? Look, another door. Some of you looked over there. The 3 witches hadn't even begun to knock when the door opened with a hiss. And there the spookiest ghost they'd ever seen floated before them. It made the witches tremble. But alas, they were very hungry. Now when you go to the door, you say, trick or treat, we've something unusually good to eat. It's bone soup, soup from a bone. A savory morsel is all it needs. Can we say, bone soup, soup from a bone. Bone soup, soup from a bone. Bone soup, soup from a bone.
Bone soup? Impossible. Go away. There will be time for your tricks later,
said the ghost. And the witches said, piff, poof. It's no trick, it's a treat, said Scraggy Witch. And as the ghost was feeling a little bit hungry, a most savory Eye of Giant was soon bubbling in the cauldron. Eye of giant, big and round. Eye of giant, big and round, add it to the pot. Eye of giant, big and round, better than we thought. Bedazzling, said Nagy Witch after a small taste. If only we had something crunchy. And with that, the eeriest of ghouls brought forth a long, crackly lizard's tail. And they said, piff, poof. Into the cauldron it goes. All right, let's do bone soup and then a long, crackly lizard's tail. Bone soup, stir it, make it hot. Bone soup, hope it makes a lot. A long and crackly lizard's tail, add it to the pot. Long and crackly lizard's tail, better than we thought. Ooh, good voice, good singing voice. An unusual scent began to waft through the air now. Doors creaked open, windows squeaked wide too. Beguiling, said Nagy Witch, but I wonder, can a tasty tidbit or two be found? Let's see. Juice of toad, earthworms, dried dragon wings, drooled a bat. Colored flies, hot and sweet, snarled a goblin. Sludge, slimy sludge, whispered a mummy. Claws, claws, and more claws, rattled a skeleton. Piff poof, hypnotizing, murmured Nagy Witch, mixing and stirring, mixing and stirring. Wrinkled fingers, old toenails, howled a werewolf. Dead leaves, cobwebs, the wrinkliest of prunes, snickered a vampire. Does that sound tasty? Even Nagy Witch had to gasp. Now the crowd was growing hungrier and hungrier and hungrier. Bone soup, soup from a bone. This had better not be a trick, growled the monsters. He was feeling particularly fierce and quite hungry just then. I'll take back that eye, warned the ghost. And that crackly tail, grumbled the ghoul. I won't hang around much longer, sneered the bat. I'll use powers of my own, scowled the goblin. Let's wrap this up now, mumbled the mummy. Don't rattle me further, clattered the skeleton. Oh, let's go, said the werewolf, howled the werewolf. Before it's too late, sneered the vampire. Snarled the vampire, baring his fangs. They whispered, bone soup, soup from a bone. They chanted, bone soup, soup from a bone. They roared, bone soup, soup from a bone. Uh-oh, the witches are in trouble. Oh, wait, I know what it needs, called a small voice. You do? Asked Nagy Witch. It needs 3 taps of your wand, Scraggy Witch, said the little monster. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3. And 2 spins of your broom, Craggy Witch. 1, 2. And 1 wave of your cape, Nagy Witch, if you please. Whoosh. Let's see. Nagy Witch waved her cape over the bubbling brew. Then she mixed and she stirred and she stirred and she mixed and she took 1 more taste. And she said, piff poof. Imagine that. Nagy Witch cackled gleefully. Can you cackle like a witch? Bone soup. And it's ready at last. Trick or treat, trick or treat. We've something unusually good to eat. And as a full moon rose in the sky, the 3 witches filled a steaming bowl of bone soup for all. It was made with ingredients tried and true, and some monstrously new. The soup was scary, spooky, eerie, bewitching, bedazzling, beguiling, hypnotizing, and spellbinding. But most of all, piff poof, it was bone-chillingly delicious. Let's sing one last time. Ready? Bone soup, stir it, make it hot. Bone soup, hope it makes a lot. Happy Halloween. Okay.